Naftali Bennett, he's Israel's economy minister and leader of the right-wing Jewish Home Party. He joins us now from Tel Aviv. I'm sure you were listening, Mr. Bennett, to Khalid Mashal speaking there, placing the blame firmly with the Israeli leadership, saying that it was not the Palestinians who escalated this cycle of violence. What's your response to that?
Mashal was talking nonsense as usual. Hamas, the radical terror group, has been shooting hundreds of missiles from Gaza Strip onto civilians in Israel. The good news is that Israel has very advanced technologies that thwart these missiles. The Iron Dome Israeli technology doesn't allow these missiles to hit our cities. But would any other country in the world tolerate missiles being shot on its people, on its families? We won't tolerate this. We'll hunt Hamas terror group down until they stop shooting missiles on Israeli citizens. Okay,
you say that you point out Israel's advanced military capabilities. It's also, whilst stopping the rockets coming from Gaza, projecting an assault onto Gaza, over 500 airstrikes since the beginning of the week. They have killed at least 40 people, a number of those civilians. If your capabilities are so advanced, why are you killing civilians?
No, Hamas is killing its own civilians. When you have missile launchers hidden within schools, within homes, I myself was a commando fighter and I saw that a missile launcher is in the living room of a home, then you're in effect killing your own children. Hamas is clearly responsible for the very unfortunate deaths of any Arab citizens in Gaza. I'll remind you that 9 years ago, Israel left the Gaza Strip and handed it over to the Palestinians. They promised it would turn into the Singapore of the Middle East, and instead it turned into hell of the Middle East. We will not tolerate a terror state right under our nose. We're going to fight and we're going to win.
There's a lot of talk amongst the Israeli leadership about an end game with a new reality. What does that actually mean?
Look, the new reality has to be simple. Hamas does not shoot missiles in Israel. Hamas does not dig tunnels into Israel. Hamas does not produce weapons in order to attack Israelis. We're not looking for war with anyone. No one in Israel desires war. However, when we are forced to fight and defend our own people, we will, and we'll do it firmly, and we'll hunt down the leaders, the terrorists, the missile launchers, the tunnels, anything necessary in order to stop this illegal shooting on Israeli citizens.
But it's very clear that the escalation on both sides just leads to more violence. Only a few days ago there was talk of a ceasefire, of Egypt getting involved in yet another ceasefire. Now, as you've just heard, we've got Hamas calling for the world to take action against Israeli aggression.
Well, Hamas is under severe pressure and distress, and that's the way they ought to be. When they start shooting, and when Israel says, you know what, if you stop shooting, we'll meet quiet with quiet, yet they continued shooting, they're going to get it back. And I don't think the world's running over to save Hamas, because everyone realizes this is a terror group, not unlike Al-Qaeda.
Well, we do have the UN all calling for calm.
Radical Islamic terror group.
We do have a number of prominent.
That's fine. The UN is calling for calm, but right now Hamas is continuing to shoot missiles on my own home, on my own children. Forget about ceasefire if they shoot missiles. We're going to continue the pressure. We're going to expand our operations against their headquarters. We're going to get down to anyone who's involved in shooting on Israeli citizens. Make no mistake, and I saw that Khalid Mashal is under severe distress. That's good news. The only one thing they need to do is stop shooting.
The government has authorized 40,000 reservists to be called up. We're seeing pictures of Israeli tanks on the border with Gaza. Will there be a ground offensive?
If necessary. We're not in love with going to war, but if necessary, we'll use all means and all options are on the table. If Hamas continues to shoot missiles from within Palestinian homes, within schools, from within hospitals, do you know that they have production facilities under hospitals in such a cowardly fashion? Well, we're going to use all our might to fight back and get the terrorists and eradicate terrorism.
You know, it's no secret that your views are extreme within Israeli society. You sit on the far right of the political spectrum. Indeed, you were heckled yesterday at a peace conference in Tel Aviv. You say yourself that you were punched on the way out. People say you're inciting Israeli hatred. Do you accept that your views are very divisive?
I think millions of Israelis accept my views, and the good news about Israel, unlike the Gaza Strip, and unlike Syria, and unlike many other authoritarian regimes, is we're a democracy. People can heckle me. That's what a democracy is about. I'm proud to be in a country where, as a minister in the government, I can be heckled and nothing bad will happen to those demonstrators. That's what a beautiful democracy is about. And I wish other countries in this region would adopt such a liberal democracy.
Okay. Naftali Bennett, Economy Minister for Israel, thanks very much for taking the time to speak to us there from Tel Aviv.